Hi there. So I've been thinking about this idea a lot lately. Finding your niche. The design of this mug is like telling if someone is from Finland without telling they are from Finland. So we think about niches like it's this one big decision. A decision you're supposed to get early on. Like you pick a lane, stay with it, and that's it. But every time I try to think about myself like that, it just don't really fit. I don't think I have ever been that kind of guy who sticks to one thing for very long. I get interested, I go all in, I try to learn everything I can, and then I move on to something else. And for a long time I thought that was a problem. I used to think that finding your niche meant locking yourself into a box forever. One label, one identity, one thing you're supposed to be good at. And honestly, that sounded kind of terrifying, because I don't think most people work like that. We like the idea of being sure, but it doesn't really work like that. It shifts, it pulls in different directions. It doesn't always ask for permission. Photography, editing, random late night ideas. Things that catch your attention for no clear reason. Not one straight path. More like mixed signals. For a long time I thought that meant I was unfocused. Like I was supposed to pick one thing and become that guy for that thing. But every time I tried I felt forced. Like trying to shrink myself into something that didn't really fit. Then at some point I start noticing something. It's not that there's no pattern, it's just that you don't see it at first. It's not the topic, it's the way you move through things. The way you notice them. The way some details just stick in your mind. For me that usually looks like getting into something, like really getting into something for a while. I go all in, learn everything I can, collect ideas and small bits of inspiration. And then I move on. But not really, because those things tend to stay in the back of my head. They show up later in different ways, in different projects, in ways I didn't expect. When I started uploading on YouTube, I just got myself a camera, I started filming random things, like random stuff I did. Then I got into the filming part of it. I got one more camera, and then I got a drone. Suddenly my passion was cameras, video and photography. One of the first things I filmed was me building a woodshed. Memories. So looking back to that video, it's like nothing I do today. It's kind of like collecting, not just objects, but ideas, moods, moments, things that don't seem important at that time, but feel important later for some reason. And the weird part is, you don't always know what you're collecting them for. You just know you want to keep them. So maybe a niche isn't about narrowing yourself down. Maybe it's about zooming out enough to see your pattern. That was so dumb. Not like what one thing am I supposed to do. More like, what keeps showing up in everything I do. There's something strange about trying to define yourself too early. And most people you look up to didn't start with a perfect niche either. They started messy, they started trying things. They started before they had it figured out. Just testing things. What you notice, what you keep coming back to, what you can't help but collect. Ideas, visuals, moments, and over time, that starts to form something, even if you didn't plan it. And maybe that's the real point of this. You don't need to force yourself into a label just because it makes things easier to explain. You're allowed to change direction. You're allowed to explore. You're allowed to be in a phase without calling it permanent. And you're allowed to not be consistent while you figure it out. So if you are someone who feels like you are all over the place, jumping between interests, going deep for a while, then switching again, maybe you're not lost. Maybe you're just still gathering patterns. Still collecting pieces that don't make any sense yet. And one day, you might look back and realize it was never random, it was just not finished yet. Thanks for watching. I always forget to mention this in the end of my videos. Subscribe to this channel if you want to, and leave a like. Leave a comment. Like this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care, bye bye. I did cut all this like 5 days ago, but it's already like this.